Hi, everyone. Welcome to our online Psych 4451 clinical psychology course. I'm glad that you all decided to enroll in this online course. It's one of my favorite courses to teach, and I'm glad to be able to virtually spend this summer semester with each of you. For this lecture, I will introduce myself as your instructor, share with you my goals for the course, and then discuss each of the tasks and assignments that you will have for the course. A lot of this material can also be found in the syllabus with more specific details, so I'd encourage you to also read that this week. Also, if you have any questions on any of it, you are welcome to contact me at any time. I'm here to help. Let me start off by introducing myself. I'm Dr. Joshua Swift. I'm an associate professor in the psychology department at Idaho State University, and I've been here for 7 years now. My job at Idaho State University primarily involves 3 sets of activities. First is teaching. Most of the courses that I teach are in the clinical psychology doctoral program, including ethics, supervision, and clinical practicum. On occasion, I do get to teach undergraduate courses, which I love. Those courses are typically abnormal psychology and this clinical psychology course. At Idaho State University, I am also involved in doing research. I am a psychotherapy process and outcome researcher, which means I study the reasons why psychotherapy is effective in helping people. Last, I am involved in service. Some of the service that I do is small, like participating in committees in my department or at the university. Other service that I do has a much larger impact. For example, I serve as one of the main academic advisors for the department. I also serve as the executive officer of the North American Society for Psychotherapy Research, and I regularly review articles that are submitted for publication in professional journals. I obtained my bachelor's degree from Brigham Young University in Provo, Utah. After that, I attended Oklahoma State University and there earned my PhD in clinical psychology. As part of all clinical psychology programs, students must complete a year-long practice-focused internship during the final year of their studies. I completed mine at SUNY Upstate Medical University, Syracuse, New York. I am also licensed to practice as a psychologist here in Idaho. And that licensure is really important to me because it represents the main reason why I wanted to go into this profession, to help individuals who struggle with mental health problems. Now, like I mentioned earlier, I am really looking forward to spending the semester with you. My hope for this course is to be able to first provide you with broad exposure to the field of clinical psychology. This I will do by talking about the history of the field, as well as sharing what research and practice looks like in clinical psychology. Second, in this course, I plan on providing coverage of specialty areas. My hope is that as we are doing that, each of you will be able to identify a few areas that are particularly interesting to you, and then get a deeper picture of what it is like to actually work in that area. Last, I would like to share with you information about what it takes to actually become a clinical psychologist. We have a few different types of course activities and assignments to help us do all of that. First are your weekly quizzes. Each week on Moodle, you will find a quiz that covers the respective chapters in the textbook for the week. These quizzes are entirely based on the textbook, and they are timed. So I would encourage you to read the chapters and mark the important parts prior to taking the quiz. You can then use your book during the quiz, but you're going to have to be ready and already be pretty familiar with the material in order to finish the quizzes on time. There are a total of 6 quizzes, each worth 50 points. Now you can take them all right away during the first week of class if you'd like, but if you don't want to do that, they each must be completed by their respective due dates. The next assignment is the lectures. Besides this introduction, there are 4 additional lectures that I want you to watch. Each of them are brief, 30 minutes or less. They do not repeat the book material at all. Instead, I focus them on sharing interesting studies from the field. Now, there are no quizzes or quiz questions associated with the lectures, but I will ask you to indicate whether you have watched each by the due date in Moodle. By the end of the course, you have to turn in 1 book report. This is worth 30% of your grade. On the syllabus, I have listed about a dozen different books from the field. Your job is to pick one and then read it in its entirety. Most of your grade will be based on the amount of the book that you read. Now, after reading the book, you will also need to write a short paper. This is a 2-page max paper. On 1 page, you'll share what you learned from the book, and on the second page, you'll share what you're going to do differently now in your life or in your career now that you've read the book. Now start on your book early. This class is only a few weeks long, and you have to finish the entire book by the end of it. The final task for this course is your major project. This is also worth 30% of your grade. You have 3 options for this assignment. First, you could interview a clinical psychologist. This could be someone from any part of the country, and they could do any type of job as long as they are a clinical psychologist. For this one, you have to ask them specific questions that I have listed in the syllabus. The second option is to volunteer for 10 hours at a clinical agency in the community. This can be at the homeless shelter, the state mental hospital, the crisis call line, or another place. But it has to be approved by me, and it cannot be something you are already doing. The last option is to watch 2 different DVDs of people practicing therapy. Now, I've listed in the syllabus the different video options, and they can all be found in the ISU library. Whichever you pick of these 3 different options, I would start the assignment early. Recognize that it might be hard to find a clinical psychologist to interview, or it takes time to set up a volunteer experience and then actually do it. Even if you choose the video option, others might have the videos checked out, so you want to plan accordingly. Once you have completed the project, you have to write another short paper. Again, this is 2 pages max. The first page to share what you did for the project, the second page to share what you learned from it. Now, with all of these assignments, Moodle is set up so that you can finish them as early as you would like, as long as you turn them in by the due date. Well, that's the course. I hope that throughout the course you will contact me. Email is the best way to do that. Please contact me to ask questions about the course, but also I would enjoy having you simply tell me who you are and what your career goals are. And also just share with me some of the things that you find interesting as you complete the course assignments. Thanks again for enrolling, and I really look forward to the rest of our semester together.